All right. I think we are live, you guys. Let me make sure. All right. I think we are live, you guys. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Sarjeet. You're watching this in my YouTube channel. You may also be watching this either live or as a replay. So let's give everybody a couple minutes to be able to join us live, and then we'll get started. What we're going to be covering today, you guys, is the second part of the case study that we started last week. So it's a two-part series. We started with a case study last week. We'll continue and finish that out this week. And then you guys let me know if you want me to do more of these, we can, or if there's other topics you'd like me to cover, I can absolutely cover those as well. Okay, so let's give everybody a minute to join, and then we'll get started. All right, guys, this is Sarjeet. As I said, you guys are watching this on my YouTube channel. You may be watching this live or as a replay. We are going to be covering the second part of the case study that we started last week. As a quick intro to me, I am your host, your mentor, Sarjeet Daya. I've got plenty of years of experience in this software development lifecycle arena, both in waterfall and agile. And what we're covering today is how to do case studies. A lot of interview for business analysts or Scrum Master positions are requesting that you guys do case studies. And I get a lot of requests on my LinkedIn, on YouTube channel, on my Facebook group, on support on how to do these. And so what I started to do, and I've done a couple of case studies in the past too, some were a lot more complicated than the one we're working on today. So I highly, highly recommend going back and watching the other case studies that we've done on the channel. Have helped lots of people land jobs successfully through the case studies and also through my private program. So if you're interested in some hands-on live training, please, I'll leave the link below. You can talk to our team members to see how we can support you. And then additionally, the best route to go through the case studies, there's a couple of them all broken up in series. You'll find them in the YouTube channel. And then for the one that we started last week, if this is the first one that you're watching, I'll link that as well in our description. Okay. And then with that, let's get started with this case study. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And for the work that we're doing, I'm going to be sharing the links for you to view only to my Google Docs document so that you could use those, download them, and follow along for any case studies that you guys may have to do in the near future. Okay. And again, use this as a framework, right? Because every case study will be different. As I mentioned last week, that they're not looking for a right or wrong answer. They're looking to understand how you got to the answer. Okay, so really quickly, I will go through and preview what we've done last week in like maybe a minute. So that way we can continue and finish this out. So as an intro, this is a case study for it feels like a railway station. They have a certain defect that they're trying to fix. And this is what they've done so far. So it says you've been assigned as a business analyst to work with the business to write requirements to send to third party to fix this defect. Initial workshop has been held and the following high-level statements have been created. Discount tickets should only be issued to travelers with a valid rail card. A valid rail card is one that is valid on the day of travel. Discounted tickets can only be purchased with a valid rail card. A report is needed to show the number of discounted tickets issued, and the validity of the rail card needs to be checked in real time. So these are some of their requirements that they have, and what they want us to do is draft up requirements. So with that said, this is what we started last week. I will, as I said, link these documents in the description area so you have them available for you, right? And this is what I outlined last week. So what should you do when you're doing a case study? Read it a couple of times to make sure that you understand. It's important that you follow instructions because that's part of what they're testing you on, right? Only submit what is being asked, right? Don't submit all these, separate documents that they're not looking for. Try to organize everything in one PowerPoint presentation or one Word document, but again, try to organize everything in one document. And then make sure you have a professional look and feel on your artifacts. On my YouTube channel, you will see that I've done videos on how to make Word documents look professional, Excel and PowerPoint. So if you need support with that, please make sure you go through those videos as well on my channel, and then send the case study, of course, on time, but at least 1 hour before it's due, and then request confirmation that they received it, right? And whether you get the job or not, always ask for feedback because that's the only way that you can continue improving, okay? Framework of a case study, again, read instructions, submit only what you need, and then also show your work, right? This is, like I said before, when you're doing case studies, they're not looking for, there really is no right or wrong answers, right? There are many ways that you can get to the same solution. They're just trying to figure out if you know how to get to the end goal, and if you're following the right protocols, right? They're not really looking for a right or wrong answer. So you have to show how you are going to get to the course, to the right answer. And then this is the document for the folder where you'll see things. And then last week, we also talked about assumptions, right? Assumptions are important for you to identify, right? Because they either limit or expand your scope. And so if you are, listing your assumptions out, then that makes it easier for somebody who's assessing your work to see what your frame of reference or mind, where you're headed. So always a good idea to document your assumptions. And for this case study, we documented that Railcard is like a library, card that is issued by the railroad authority. There's no cost to get a rail card. Rail cards expire every year. It's valid from date of issue to 12 months. Rail card holds holders are expected to renew rail cards before expiration date, and then expired rail cards can be renewed with a fine. Expired rail cards can be renewed with a fine. So what this is saying is, remember in our requirements, in our the case study that they gave us in our instructions, they said discounted tickets should only be issued to travels with a valid rail card. So in our assumptions, we're saying that valid rail cards are free of cost, right? They're like a library card. There's no cost to get them, but you do have to renew them every year. Once they do expire, then there may be like a slight small fine to renew them, but they're valid for 12 months after issuance, and you need to have a valid rail card to purchase your discounted tickets, right? And then we looked at our current state. Current state looks like purchase ticket, request consumer to input rail card, have a rail card. If yes, they purchase discounted tickets, and if no, they're still able to purchase discounted tickets, and then end. So this is where the defect seems to be, right? they're saying that people that don't have a valid rail card are still able to purchase tickets, and that's a behavior we don't want. And so the future state is going to be this. So you purchase a ticket, you want to purchase a ticket, you request consumer to input rail card, have a rail card, yes. And then we're going to do another check. Is it expired? Let's say if it is, oh, this looks wrong. So let's go back and fix this. So if the valid card is, oh, it's a valid rail card. If it is a valid rail card, they can purchase discounted tickets, and we end there. Now, if they don't have a rail card, they can purchase tickets at a regular price and end. Or if they do have a valid rail card, but it is expired, they can still purchase regular tickets, regular price tickets, and then end the process here. So this is what is happening today, and this is what we talked about last week being, the future state of what we need to fix, the defect that they're having. Again, as I go through this, please let me know if you're watching this live with me or watching this as a replay. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I do go through all the questions or all the comments on the YouTube channel and try to get back to you as soon as I can. So if there's anything that isn't making sense with this process, please leave a comment and I will get back to you. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to now write requirements. Right, because our case study has told us, however, the defect has been identified where the discounted tickets can be purchased without a valid rail card. As a result, in some cases, they're incorrectly issuing discounted tickets, and the train regulator is considering fining the organization. Therefore, your task is to write some requirements to send to the third party for them to fix the defect. So the goal and the objective of this case study is for us to send them requirements. So now, just looking at their business rules, right? This is what they've documented. So one of the business rules or requirement has to be around valid check for valid rail card. Another has to be around, and if it is valid, they can purchase. If it isn't, so it's going to be valid, and then discounted tickets. And then it sounds like they also want a report that shows report of discounted tickets. Okay, and the validity needs to be checked in real time. Okay, so it sounds like there's the major defect is the validity of a rail card, and then the other requirement looks to be report of discounted tickets. So this is how it looks to be. Again, this looks like it's a waterfall environment, and as we know in the waterfall requirement, we write BRDs or we write requirements a little bit differently than if we were in the agile environment. In the agile environment, we write in the user story format, but in the waterfall scenario, we generally write requirements in the format of the system. The system shall have the capability or the ability to do X, Y, and Z. So that's generally the format that we follow. So we'll follow this format here as well. So generally, as you know, we'll try to mimic as much as we can on how we write requirements in the waterfall scenario. So check valid rail card. So I'm going to say the system. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Okay. The system shall have the ability to check if, okay. So it sounds like we already have the option to request them to input the rail card. So I'm not going to write requirements for that because we generally don't write requirements for functionality that already exists, right? So we're gonna skip writing requirements for, you know, inputting the rail card because it looks like that's already happening. So check for valid rail card. The system shall have the ability to check if inserted rail card is valid, right? And here we may say business rule equals valid rail card equals, so it has to be valid on the date of purchase. So valid rail card equals current date. So there's got to be some formula, right? Some math formula to figure out how to check the validity of a rail card. So valid rail card is let me think about this. Expired day of ticket purchase. So I want to leave it simple like this, but for our developers out there, I'm sure they can help us create some formula on how to check that through an automated way. So the system shall have the ability to check if the inserted rail card is valid, if the card is valid, not expired. The option to purchase this mounted. The discounted tickets option shall not be available for customers who either don't have a rail card or have an expired. Okay. The system shall have the ability to check if inserted rail card is valid. If the card is valid, not expired, the system shall provide customers the option to purchase discounted tickets. If the rail card, however, is expired, the customers can only purchase regular price tickets. The discounted tickets shall not be available for customers who either don't have a rail card or have an expired rail card. So I think that just about covers it. So we can say this one, this is valid. Check for valid card. And then we'll insert another slide, and this will be for the reporting. Now, let me go back and see what they want. The report is needed to show the number of discounted tickets issued. Okay, so since they don't give us a lot of details about what this may look like, right? So the only thing that we could do here is try to do the best in terms of what we think that they may want. So if they all are saying to us is a report is needed to show the number of discounted tickets issued. So let's try to do the best we can. So we're going to say the system we can say a dashboard, right? Maybe we can create a dashboard. Maybe call it reports dashboard. Create a daily, weekly. The system shall have the ability to create a report of discounted tickets purchased via the, I don't know what this is called, TTS system. Train ticketing system. Okay, the system shall have the ability to create a report of discounted tickets purchased by the TTS train tracking system. The consumers of discounted tickets. So the ability to create a report for discounted tickets purchased via system. The consumers of the discounted tickets report shall have the ability to view this data weekly, daily, weekly, and monthly. The layout of the report shall capture the following data elements. So here I'm just listing this out. Again, the requirements didn't specify what, a lot of detail, but I mean, think about people that would want to see this report. The background here is that they're going to find the organization because people are purchasing discounted tickets without having a rail card. So I imagine the things that they would want to see are things like, let's think about this. What would you want to see if you're trying to look at a report that shows the validity, right? So it should say maybe customer. I don't know if we need to say customer name because then becomes like PII data and we just kind of want to steer away from that. So maybe transaction number, right? We want to say rail card. Yes, / no. Valid rail card. Yes, no. How about discounted? So discounted tickets purchased. Maybe number of discounted tickets purchased. So here they could try to figure out, so if somebody doesn't have no to a rail card and no to a valid rail card, the number of tickets purchased should be 0, right? And if they do have a rail card and if it's valid, they should have the ability to have a yes here and identify the number of discounted tickets. Again, I'm totally making this up without having any input from the stakeholders, but I think this is the best route because here you want to showcase that you are writing a requirement to create this report. You're giving consumers' ability to view this report in different formats, and then you're also identifying what data elements need to be populated in the report. So I think these are good fields and good requirements for us to send over. So with that, you guys, we are done with this case study. As I said, I get a lot of requests from you guys, and I want to be helpful, but sometimes time doesn't allow for me to help you individually. So I wanted to give you a framework that you guys can follow and then have a way to do this case study. So because again, as I said, don't only submit what they want, right? They've only asked us to submit requirements, right? And then they said, when you submit this, be prepared to talk about this at the interview. So now having done this math problem and trying to figure out what they were trying to solve, I could talk about this for more than 10 minutes, and this is probably what they want you to do. They want you to think about the case study, do the math problem, come up with your best solution, and then talk about how you got there, right? Talk about, what your assumptions were and how, what you think the main pain points were and what you were trying to solve. So with this, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if this was helpful. Please give me feedback. And also let me know if there's other topics you'd like me to cover. If you have a case study that you'd like me to do here with you guys on YouTube, send it over to me. I'll put my email address in the description as well and for our support area. And they'll be able to funnel this to me and we can, do a couple of weeks series if it's a complicated case study or if it's an easy one, maybe 1 or 2 sessions and get it done. So again, open to helping you in any way that you guys need help. But that's it. We finished this case study. It was easy breezy, not a really complicated one. But if you have one that you'd like to do together with us, send it over and be more than happy to help you guys out. So that's a wrap, you guys. Closing out, if you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments, like and share this video. We want to be able to help as many people as we can in this arena. I know that lots of people are trying to get in, and this is a really good area to get in. But as we know, interviewing and getting into this arena is proving to be a little difficult, right? Because there's a lot of competition. So let us know how we can be part of your journey and send this to your family and friends who are also trying to get into this arena so they can also benefit from the great work that we're doing here. Again, most of my content comes from your comments. And so I highly appreciate you for watching my content. And then also let me know what other things you want for me to cover. Okay. With that said, thank you, everyone. I'm greatly appreciative of all that you do for me, all the comments, the likes, I really appreciate that. And then the views for the channel are outrageous. And I could not have done this without you. So again, extremely grateful and thank you for you all for supporting me in this journey. And with that,